guys know, we're heading to Laguna. I was in a situationship for a really long time. Let's start with that. I'm so excited. God, traffic is insane. I was distraught in the way that I loved it so much. 10 out of 10 is too low of a number. I'm so happy to be here. Okay guys, starting the vlog in the car today because we are heading over to my favorite place. That's literally my favorite song right now. Why Do I Feel Better When I Hurt You by Lil Young. It is just, whew. Starting the vlog in the car today because we are going to my favorite place in all of California. You guys know we're heading to Laguna, one of my go-to spots whenever I'm vlogging. First things first, we need to get gas. Today is just a fun day. I'm just taking you guys along in a day in my life. Whenever I have a day off, I always try to go to Laguna. It is just the most calming, fun place for me. I feel like I always just, whenever I feel like my stress or my anxiety is super high, I feel like going there just takes it down 3 notches, and it's so nice. So I wanted to go there today. Maybe I'll talk about kind of what I've been going through and what I've been working through, I guess, with you guys. And then I have to edit the podcast so it'll be out. And then I'm just literally gonna go to Laguna, hang out at a coffee shop. I was invited to a Halloween party today, but I don't know if I'm gonna go. So we will see if I go. I will put it in the vlog. But let's do an intro. First of all, hi, my name is Lexi. Nice to meet you. Thank you for being here. We just surpassed 500 subscribers, and it is just insane to me that that many of you are watching my stuff and we are able to form this family together. Like I said, today is just going to be a very fun day in my life, and I'm going to take you guys along when we go to my favorite place in all of California. Okay, so we just stopped to get gas. It is about like 35 minutes to Laguna, and I have been jamming out to, let me show you, Miss Lola Young. She is just an icon, a vision, and like my favorite singer right now. She is, for the most part, she's always singing. This album is about like a breakup and like whatever, and I have some stuff to tell you guys. And this song, these songs, specifically Why Do I Feel Better When I Hurt You, guys, it is like exactly what I need right now, and it is bringing up all the feels, but it's kind of good feels. And maybe I'll talk about it more in Laguna, but yeah, I'm gonna be jamming out to her, and then I will see you guys when we get to Laguna. Okay guys, we made it to Laguna. I will show you guys the full outfit in a little bit because I think it's super cute. I got this dress yesterday, but we are gonna head to my favorite coffee shop. You guys know Laguna Coffee Co. I rave about it every single time I'm here because it is just literally my favorite coffee shop. They make the best coffee, the best matcha, top tier. My second favorite would be Jedediah, but that's pretty far ways away. So we're going to Laguna. We are gonna journal, and I'm very excited. It is just absolutely beautiful out. Great weather. I'm so excited. I'm so happy to be here. Okay, so I got my latte and I'm sitting outside in their little patio area. I'm sitting in possibly like the worst place ever because it's like a dip. So my chair is like wobbly and the so is the table. But I wanted to sit outside. I love sitting on the sidewalk and watching people pass as I journal, because that is definitely something that I love doing whenever I'm here. Like I said, there's a very calming place for me. So whenever I'm here, I feel like I just have no restraints. My journal just flows freely. My words just come out exactly how I want them to. and I got a brown sugar latte. I genuinely forgot what I normally get here because I feel like I've been on this cafe tour lately where I like keep on trying different cafes and I get something different every single time I'm there. And I forgot what I normally get here because it's been so long. I think normally I would get a lavender latte with oat milk, but brown sugar sounded good, so cheers. Let's try it. Yeah, wonderful. Their lattes are so good. I like the espresso that they use. It is so good, and it's house made, so that's pretty cool. Anyways, I'm gonna sit here. I am gonna journal my little heart out, and then I think I'm gonna take you guys to the beach, or we might head down a little deeper into downtown Laguna and see what we find. But right now I have the meter on my car set for an hour, so we have an hour here at the coffee shop to journal, to write, and just kind of clear my thoughts and prepare me for what I want to talk to you guys about today. So I'm very excited. You guys know that I am not one to trash talk Laguna at all. I love Laguna. This is literally one of my favorite places that I've ever been. But oh my God, Laguna on a Saturday? Traffic City. I had a perfect parking spot near Laguna Coffee Co., but I want to take you guys to this cute little park right by the water and have a little chit chat talk. And I went to go to try to find parking there, and oh my God, packed. So we'll see. Hopefully I find parking because I love that park. It's so serene. I love sitting there. So I want to show you guys that and have our little chit chat about what's been going on in my life. But yeah, traffic is insane. I've been listening to Lola Young, and I've also been listening to Lucy Dacus this entire time, and it's genuinely been like 20 minutes of circling trying to find parking. But just an update. I will see you hopefully when we get to the park. We just made it to Heisler Park. It is such a pretty view. I am gonna show you what I'm looking at. This is my view right now. It is just absolutely stunning. People are painting, and it is just so calm and quiet here. And I'm gonna mess that up by talking all the time. But I wanted to talk a little bit about what I'm going through. Let me move a little more comfy. Let's get comfy. Okay, y'all. Let's have a heart-to-heart because we need one. If you have listened to the podcast or if you have read any of my Substack articles, there was a person in my life, and I don't even know how I really want to talk about this because I do want to respect their privacy, but I was in a situationship for a really long time. Let's start with that. And I just recently made the decision to end it, and that's kind of what I've been going through for the past couple of months, and I'm sure that you can tell that my content has kind of reflected that in some way. We had a podcast episode called "He's Not That Confused, You're Just Too Available," and it was so funny. It was 100% about my situationship, and you know, for a while I didn't think I wanted to talk about it at all because it was very fresh and it was very painful, and I felt very angry, and I felt very like frustrated, and I felt so stupid for being hurt over a situationship. Like, we were never committed, but I I think that this is something that so many people can relate to, especially in this day and age where communication is definitely not something that everybody's very good at. And I will say, I'll be the first one to say it, even though I am a professional yapper, communication is not something that I'm good at all, especially in relationships. And that comes from a deep-seated like fear of rejection and, you know, stuff that I work on, that I talk a lot about on the podcast. But I think that going through this heartbreak and this mourning period of a relationship that was never really mine to begin with has been so eye-opening. And the entire point of my content anywhere, on Instagram, on YouTube, on the podcast, on Substack, is I want to feel like I am holding your hand through this life, and that we are, a lot of the times, we are in the same place. We are going through the same stuff. And just knowing that you're not alone in things is kind of one of the most important parts of it all. So if you've ever been in a situationship, you know that sometimes it hurts much more than an actual relationship, because it also adds a level of confusion to everything that you're feeling, everything that you're going through. And that definitely was something that I was experiencing with this person. I was angry with him for a really, really long time. I was mad at myself that I let it get this far. I was let down by love, and I was frustrated with the universe, and I was just like, why every time I catch feelings for somebody, it feels like it just gets ripped away in the most evil way possible. And I had realized that the universe is always on my side. The universe always does me a favor, and sometimes I just need to remind myself that the life that I'm creating, sometimes people aren't meant to be there, and sometimes they don't add anything to it, but rather they start taking it away, and they start transforming you into a version of yourself, no matter how potent that version may be, of somebody that you're not exactly proud of. When I was in this relationship, I could see myself becoming very jealous and very standoffish. I closed off whenever I was angry with him. We would just not communicate, we would not talk, and that's not something that I'm proud of. I don't like being that person, and I don't want to be that person. And the reason I ended it is because I choose me before I choose anyone else. I would rather be alone and loving myself than be with somebody but constantly being frustrated at the person I'm becoming. And it was at the perfect time that I ended this, because Olivia Dean released her new album, The Art of Loving, and it is literally from cover to cover, it is genuinely about choosing yourself, choosing to be alone. Like I said, the exact thing that I just said, choosing to be alone if the alternative is being with somebody but not feeling like yourself, and just becoming very okay with all of it. And let me tell you, when she released this album, I was distraught in the way that I loved it so much, in the way that it was like she was reading my journal genuinely. Because when you end something with somebody, no matter for whatever the reason, if you're the one that does the ending, there is an added layer of guilt to all of it. And I had actually spoken to him about this a couple days ago, because he's still in my life, but he's not in my life, if that makes sense. But I spoke to him about this a couple days ago, about the fact that he had asked me why I was so angry with him still, and I was like, honestly, I'm not angry with you at all. I'm hurt and I'm sad, and I had just realized that we just weren't what we needed from each other. And I had said that to him, and it was a very honest moment. And when you recognize that within a relationship, within a situationship, within a friendship, whatever it may be, when you recognize that you just are not what they need and they are not what you need, it becomes so clear of what the next move is. I'm reading this book, and I showed it a little bit when I was reading it at Laguna Coffee Co. But it's called Good Material by Dolly Alderton, and it's actually about a breakup. It is about the main character Andy and his ex-girlfriend now, Jen, and his descent basically into madness over this breakup, how weird it feels when you break up with somebody, how you do random stuff to hope that they see it, and just a whole bunch of stuff. And the last few chapters is in Jen's perspective. The whole book is in Andy's, but the last few chapters, Jen is talking about how caring about somebody and being their only source of happiness isn't always what's best. And you know, she talks a little bit about how frustrating it can be to be somebody's only source of happiness, how it's a burden that nobody should have to bear. And you know, she talks about her decision to break up with Andy, because that's the whole preface of the book. In the beginning, she breaks up with him and he doesn't know why. He's so confused, and the whole book is him just being confused. And then the last chapters, 2 or 3, is her explaining essentially her part of all of it. And the reason like she broke up with him, she's like, you know, I just kind of realized that I don't want to be in a relationship. I'm good being alone. And her friend in the book, this is where I'm getting to, in the book she says, Jen, you've always been alone. You've been alone when I first met you. You've been alone when you were with Andy. You've been alone in work. You've been alone. And your biggest gift is that you can be alone and never lonely. And that right there tugged at my heartstrings, because that's very much how I feel in life. Everybody always, whenever I tell them about my story, about how I moved out to California when I was 18, I knew nobody, and I created this life for myself, everybody always is like shocked of how comfortable I am in my aloneness. And that is why I feel as though I'm able to make these decisions to leave people, or make these decisions to no longer be in certain relationships, because I like myself. I like my alone time, and I really enjoy who I am, to the point that I don't need an addition of somebody if the only thing that they're adding to my life is companionship. I don't need that right now, especially being so young, especially being 23. Yes, I do feel like being in relationships and experimenting and having friends and, you know, having people that nurture you are so amazing, and what you should be doing at 23. I can also safely say that you should be getting to know yourself very, very well. You should be understanding who you are a little bit more. You should be going on solo dates. You should be journaling. You should be learning who you are within yourself so fully that when somebody does come into your life, you have the gift of discernment of deciding whether or not they're right to stay. And it's fun to have somebody in your life. Trust me, I mourn the loss of having somebody to wake up to every morning, a good morning text and a good night text. I mourned the cute nicknames we had for each other. I mourned the way that I could catch his eye in a crowded room and he would smile, a smile that seemed like it was only for me. All of that I mourned. All of that, it hurt me to make the decision to walk away from it. However, this decision came from a multitude of things to do. And what I'm working through right now, and I'm currently working through, is finally not feeling frustrated with myself with the decision. A couple days ago, like I said, we were talking, and it was kind of a deeper talk than we have had in a couple of months. Like I said, he was asking why I was so angry, and I kind of laid it out all out on the line. And yesterday, it was my first day off from work, and it was my first day off to really sit and think, and I was just dwelling on everything. I was frustrated. I was like, why does this happen again? That one conversation and these past couple of months where I've healed, I felt like I've healed from this, that I have felt like I have moved on, and I learned how to become my own person again, not a person who has a person, you know? Why this one conversation, I wake up in the morning with words on the tip of my tongue, like things that I wish I had said to him, with so much more to say, you know? I was just so full of this anger again and this confusion of like, at this point, leave me alone, because every time we talk, it just hurts me more. And then I had realized, I was like, he obviously wasn't doing it to hurt me. He is just as confused as I am, and you know, this conversation is just very telling on my part of the things that I had thought I had healed from that I hadn't. So I wanted to read a journal excerpt that I wrote today at Laguna that I think kind of really explains what I'm going through. Like I said, this was today, October 25th, Saturday. I've had a lot on my mind, so I decided to come to the one place that I know will clear my head, Laguna. Kaz said to me this morning, "You know the life you made for yourself, and it doesn't fit him. God, the universe, and yourself all have something better planned for you." And it was exactly what I needed to hear. I hate that he does this. He gives me enough emotion that I so desperately crave from him just to remind me that he exists. To have me hurt over him all over again, because only now is he admitting that we were what we were to each other. But it's too late. It's far too late. He brought up that we've done this before, and I don't know if he meant it as this, but it felt like a reminder that we fell back into each other after I had felt it was over once. And if we did it once, who's to say we won't do it again? But it's me, I say. It's really over for me. It's something I'll have to let go of over and over and over again until I'm no longer the woman who cared about him. It wasn't love, I know that, but this will still be a journey that I will go through. Eventually, I won't think of him in the words of songs. I won't crave his secret smiles. I won't want to turn back time. I'll be grateful for the decision that I made. It won't hurt that he's moved on. We will become strangers. This next sentence, I'm gonna cut out a name that I named, but it was essentially a person I dated 2 years ago, and anyways, so I'm just gonna call her her. And like her, who taught me that I will survive this pain, I'll let all of this help me grow into a better person. Kaz was right. I do know the life I made for myself, and I have allowed them to leave it. To make way for something better, always better. I think what he wanted out of this talk wasn't an understanding of why I'm still mad, but for me to stop being so angry towards him. And I think I can do that. Truly though, what a gift it is to feel so damn deeply. It's my superpower. This probably won't be the last time he'll be on these pages, but I hope it'll feel less like current pains, but rather that letting go journey. So, with that being said, that is really what I've been going through. I have talked about it a lot in my journal, that every time I write about somebody or write about a situation, I am like, this is the last time I'm talking about it. And then a couple days go by and I'm like, I want to journal about it again. And I almost censor my words, especially my journal, in a way that's like, no, I've moved on. I definitely don't have to talk about it. But I've learned, a big lesson that I've learned within all of this is that letting go is more than just one-time thing. Sometimes you have to let go and let go and let go and let go, and years go by and something reminds you of them and you have to let it go again, especially when it comes to relationships and especially when it comes to knowing somebody so well. It's gonna take a really long time for you to find a new version of yourself that doesn't exist in correlation to them. So that's what I was talking about in the journal entry of letting go and just taking every day one moment at a time. I'm already incredibly proud of who I've become since then, making these decisions, no matter how small, to be more me, cutting my hair and going to Laguna and reading so much and learning to stop living for his attention, learning to stop living for anybody's validation, and learning to become wholly and 100% myself has genuinely been the biggest gift. So I hope that this very long talk has helped you guys in some way, and I hope that you can take it with you. But I'm gonna finish my coffee. I'm gonna finish the last few pages of this amazing, amazing book, and I will see you guys in a little bit. I think the seagull liked our talk. I think he wanted to come to say hi because he too enjoyed talking about my breakup. Hi, seagull. Oh my goodness, this is such a car vlog, but I just got done hanging out at, I just got done hanging out at that, oh my god, why can't I talk? I just got done hanging out at the park and I finished Good Material by Dolly Alderton. 10 out of 10 is too low of a number. I wish that I could give it like 1,000 out of 10 because it was such a good book. And like I said, funnily enough, it was about a breakup, which is exactly what I needed to hear. It's time to head home. What a full, eventful day. I still don't know if I'm gonna go to that party, so I will insert quick clips if I ended up going, but What a good day, and what a good talk you and I had. I feel very, very full of light.